Bună ziua, dragi prieteni! Astăzi suntem la Orange alături de directorul general, domnul Marius Gața. O să vorbim în engleză, luând în considerație că domnul director general a venit în Moldova din Polonia. So, hello.
Hello.
Nice to see you. I guess this is the first interview that you have in Moldova. It's a real honor for us.
Thank you very much. Thank you for hosting me.
You came to Moldova in a really difficult time, atypical, let's say. How fast did you get used to it?
I wouldn't say that I'm used to it, because the question is, can you used to the situation? You can adapt, probably. So I adapted to circumstances. And from the other hand, you have lots of people telling you 1 more month, 2 more months, 3 more months, 2 more weeks. So you live in a kind of a, temporary situation. Everybody is telling you, or the government, all the governments are telling you it's temporary. From the other hand, you have some scientists telling you, no, this is going to stay like this. Well, maybe not that drastic, but all those bacteria around us will be there and will be attacking us. But I'm not used to that. It's I'm coming to the office with probably 25% of people just coming because of sanitary reasons. I'm just traveling in my mask everywhere. I need to test coming to the country. I need to test going outside of the country. I don't want to get used to it. I mean, I hope it's going to end. Well, my bet is that summer should be more or less normal. That's my hope. That's not my bet. So I adapted. I'm not used to. I don't want to get used to that. I adapted because I had no choice, but I hope it will not last forever.
Well, with the vaccine, we all hope that we'll get back
to
a normal life.
I think so. I think vaccination will help a lot. And, but the point about vaccination is that in order to be safe, you need 60% of population to be vaccinated. And I've been watching at different surveys, and usually they are 50-50. So 50% of people want to be vaccinated, and 50% of people either do not want or hesitate. This is a big challenge, because to get the first 50%, it's going to be relatively easy, but the next 50% needs to be convinced. And but hopefully, in this very atypical, as you say, situation, people will be more eager to take vaccine. And I hope that by summer, looking at statistics, by summer, looking at UK, Israel, US, it should be okay. But well, you never know.
Orange Moldova has always been a leader in telecom market. The future does belong to connectivity and data, as we see with the changes. How do you see what is your vision and ambition for the Orange in this regard?
I would say more broadly that I would like us as Orange to be liked and appreciated by our customers. I would like people to really have maybe not fun, but being proud of working for Orange. I'm talking about employees. I want to be respected, and I want to respect my partners, my vendors, and at the end of the day, I want our shareholders to be satisfied and happy as well. So looking from that perspective. This is probably not very much different from any commercial company. But coming back to Orange and the company's position in the market, yes, you're right. We have been here for quite a long time already. The recognition of the brand is at the very high level. The Net Promoter Score is also high. It could be better, always could be better. But I think that as we are a leading operator in mobile environment, we now need to add a little bit more of the leadership in the fixed environment, in fixed broadband environment. That's why we are betting a lot, not only in Moldova, because in Moldova last week we launched a beautiful campaign about Orange Love,
yes,
which is about TV, mobile, fiber, for different geographies where Orange operates. This is actually the way to move forward, just to go to the customer and saying, look, you are buying mobile somewhere, you are buying fiber somewhere, you have TV from somebody. Why not to combine it together and you know, have some benefits coming out of that? So I think that the future of Orange Moldova, I'm just simplifying, of course, oversimplifying probably, but the future is very much linked to convergence, which is very much linked with the deployment of the fixed network that we are doing today, keeping in mind that having the position we have in mobile environment, we need to keep this leadership. So, but convergence, this is probably the not even the this is the key word probably for us moving forward.
What other new projects are now being developed by Orange Moldova?
I think the project number one, this is fiber rollout. What we actually do, we are replacing our HFC network, our cable TV network, with the fiber network. You know, fiber, I think everybody agrees today in the industry, but not only in the industry, but also we see it through customer choices. This is the premium technology that people really want to use. There is no better technology for internet connectivity than fiber. So I think the number one project for us today is fiber deployment. I'm talking a little bit through the perspective of projects, but at the end of the day, just having a fiber network is fine, but it's an asset. You need to know what to do with this asset. But it comes somehow back to your first previous question about Orange Love, because we are really moving forward and very fast into convergence. But I think investment in a fiber network, I would put as the most important project for this year. That's for sure. Yeah,
definitely. It does put the basics for the future development of new technologies. For sure, the experience that you have accumulated throughout the years so far is impressive. I mean, you have over 20 years experience in telco, but you've always been operating on a much bigger market. Are the same approaches applicable for Moldova? The local consumer, is the local consumer different or very similar?
I would say that in each and every country, it doesn't matter if it's Moldova, Poland, Spain or France, you have people that are older and younger, you have people that are richer and poorer, you have mid-class, you have people that are technology freaks, you have people that are early adopters, you have people that are followers. And I think that the basic segmentation, which is a kind of a toolkit for all CMOs in all businesses, the toolkit is very much the same. Now the differences are coming from the size of those segments in different markets. So in some countries you can have a dominance of one segment over the other. And some countries are probably more price sensitive. I think Moldova is more price sensitive than Poland. Poland is more price sensitive than Spain, which is more price sensitive than France, in my point of view. You know, at the end of the day, people want to have a good deal. I mean, it doesn't change.
Definitely.
You know, that's the point. They want to get the service that is satisfying them for the price that is treated by them as fair one. And what means fair vary between markets. So from that perspective, I wouldn't say that being in Moldova or being in another country, size, of course, it makes a difference, but it does not make such a difference when it comes to your toolkit. I mean, you always come, you see at the market, you segment the market, you start thinking if you have an offer for all segments, do you want to have an offer for all segments? Sometimes you are not there. I know some players in my industry that by themselves decided not to be in some segments of like for large accounts. You know, it's there are some players saying that this is too expensive to give a service and prices are too low. It's better to concentrate on different segments of the same market. This is always a choice of a player. But I would say that again, the bottom line is toolkit is the same. The size of bubbles or segments is different, and then you need to apply proper tactics, I would say, strategy and tactics to the segmentation.
How does the Moldova telecom market reflect the international trends?
Well, I think that where I see similarity for sure is that, especially now in let's say not even yet post-COVID times, that people are very much driven by all the handset new releases. So we see in different geographies that people more and more eagerly go for the handset renewals, and the handset sales is growing very much. Services are under pressure because people are looking for full savings. But from the perspective of handset sales, probably Moldova is very much equal to other geographies that I am aware of. That's for sure. Moldova is not that much different when it comes to, again, the COVID impact on, for example, prepaid base. Basically, people are not coming, so they are not buying prepaid cards. Depending on how big the diaspora is in different countries, you have either more or less people coming, but still there are some people coming. I don't see, frankly speaking, many differences, maybe apart from one that I would expect operators to go more digital than today. That's for sure. There are no digital offers today in the market, which is quite interesting. These are not easy to be deployed, frankly speaking. You need to put a lot of attention and investment into that. Not many more differences, I would say. It's quite similar. Not big differences.
5G technology is definitely a special topic. Orange has been a pioneer in innovations, and actually the 4G was launched in Moldova. What ambitions do you have for 5G, and do you consider this technology relevant for Moldova?
Well, 5G is a very interesting subject because, we all remember that 4G was about speed.
Yeah.
While 5G is about latency. It was quite easy to communicate with people that your speed is whatever, 10, this is going to be 40, so people do understand. But when you talk to people about latency, they say, "La, what? I mean, what do you mean by latency?"
Yeah.
And this is the time that is needed for packets to reach the receiver from the sender. And people don't understand very much. So many operators are struggling today how to monetize 5G, because 5G is an enormous investment. Because first of all, you need to pay licenses for governments and regulators, depending on countries. So this is the upfront investment.
Yeah.
Then you need to invest in your infrastructure. And 5G is more difficult because you need to build more antennas than today. The grid of antennas that each and every operator has must be denser. You need basically more because of the nature of the waves. So obviously you have the cash outflow, and you start thinking, okay, what's going to be my cash inflow? How I'm going to sell to customers the latency story? Okay, I can still sell the speed, but if you are 40 megabits per second today, and you're going to be 80 or you're going to be 100, does it really bring a difference for you with your mobile, depending on what you do? That's one of the questions. But my personal belief is that 5G will disrupt the market, but the disruption will come from the B2B environment, because you will have more and more manufacturers, producers that will start producing their products using 5G technology. Well, let's take the example of autonomous car.
Yeah.
You cannot be autonomous as a car with 4G because latency is too long. I mean, it's too slow. With 5G, yes, it can be autonomous. So this is probably an extreme example of innovation, because still people are thinking like, how can I drive a car without keeping the steering wheel? It's a little bit like...
But it's already been used in Dubai, for example.
But not massively, not massively. These are still, I would say, early adopters that are doing that. But 5G, definitely, this is a technology that will bring that. That's one example. Another example is a factory. I've seen some factories that are using 5G. They are 5G island. And because they have antennas, let's imagine that we have a room, and in each corner we have the 5G antenna, so the room is covered with 5G coverage, and then you have some robots that are assembling something, whatever is this something. And with 4G, you cannot control those robots, so they cannot synchronize between each other. With 5G, they can synchronize between each other. So just imagine that when you have a process from A to, I don't know, to Z, and when something happens at A or at B, you get a signal immediately to the next letter in the row, just change the route or just do something. Just imagine how much time and money you can save at the end of the day, that your factory is 5G factory, and this is very much real time. So I think that I'm a big believer that B2B will disrupt in 5G as more and more connectable devices will come. And those devices will be rather connected to 5G network, and then people will discover like, well, that makes sense. I mean, I need to start thinking if my provider, my operator is providing 5G with me. I don't believe that with 5G we'll just play the game of speed as we used to do with 4G. It's more complicated than
it's a long-term investment.
Yeah, it's a long-term. Yeah, it's 15 years investment when it comes to the license itself. And as 4G was simple replacement of 3G with better speed, 5G is not only about speed. So I think that well, industries, different industries will disrupt, and probably it will not be operators disrupting with 5G only, because you cannot sell speed. You know, even if this is if you use fiber, right? You have 100 meg fiber home or 300 meg home. Well, you feel better because it's more than 100, but you don't see a big difference unless you are a professional player or you work in the, I don't know, the industry of rendering pictures and things like that. So my point is that 4G is already good enough to make people stay there unless they see some incentives to go 5G. And those incentives probably will come from the environment of operators, so producers of washing machine, fridges, cars, probably some sensors. And just imagine that there are some sensors we don't even imagine today, but there will be more and more of them being connected. We see connected to a washing machine and connected fridge, but well, what's the point to have it connected when you cannot order your food in supermarket number one? And maybe supermarket number one day will have a partnership with one of the vendors here in Moldova of fridges, and when you are out of whatever milk, there will be
a notification,
exactly,
and it comes home
and
to you.
For that, you don't need 5G. 4G could be good enough, but 5G probably will be cheaper for those producers to do it massively. So
more efficiency.
Yeah, we need to wait probably a bit of time. Moldova will have 5G frequency probably closer to 2024, which I think is reasonable. I don't see no reason to be in a hurry. And then we'll probably see more and more of those producers being already in the marketplace with their products using 5G. Then it really makes sense.